My friends, it is the 16th of April 2024 and I'm here in Hamburg, Germany, pronounced Hamburg in German. Tonight we're going to catch the new generation Nightjet train to Vienna in Austria. Now we're traveling on board of the mini cabin, the newest addition to the Nightjet concept. Thank you so much for joining and coming along, and let's begin the trip report. Being an important port city with a rich history, Hamburg sees a lot of visitors. It's the third biggest port of Europe, and aircraft manufacturer Airbus has a factory here. Even the international train network is impressive. Most people arrive or depart from Hamburg main station, the Hauptbahnhof. However, this station has some serious capacity problems. My Nightjet train, operated by the Austrian Railway company ÖBB, for tonight to Vienna will stop at Hamburg Hauptbahnhof. But it actually starts at Hamburg Altona, like many other long distance trains. Altona is situated west of the city center, and in my opinion is a much better place to start your trip. Take the S-Bahn from Hauptbahnhof to Altona and make your way up to the main hall of the station. It's far less crowded here, but you'll have all the facilities the Hauptbahnhof has as well. Head for the Edeka supermarket to stock up on supplies and visit one of the many restaurants to have dinner or lunch before your trip. The biggest perk of beginning your trip here at Altona instead of Hauptbahnhof is that because it is a terminal station, your train will be ready to board at the platform well ahead of its scheduled departure time, so you can settle in early. Here at platform 10 is the newest Nightjet train built by Siemens, which will bring us all the way to Vienna. These are push-pull units with a cab car at one end of the train. However, these are not in use yet at the time of filming, so we're now just a classic local haul train. Our train consists of two parts, one going to Vienna and the other one heading for Innsbruck. In the middle of the night, the train will be split, and we will also be combined with a Nightjet coming from Amsterdam. Such practice is very common for trains in Europe, especially night trains, so watch carefully on the departure platform if you're on the right part of the train. Now let's head inside and look for our mini cabin. These newly built trains comes with a feature that tackles one of the major issues with night trains: privacy, because the classic way was to sleep together with strangers or book an expensive solo sleeper cabin. The addition of the mini cabins will offer you a private capsule bedroom for an affordable price. It doesn't take long for our train to arrive at Hamburg Hauptbahnhof. When taking a night train in Europe, each car with sleeping accommodation will have a steward on duty. When boarding, the steward will show you your cabin, give the key card in order to lock the door, collect your ticket and take your order for breakfast. In the gangway, you'll find folded seats which you can use to chill outside your capsule room. Now let's have a closer look at our so-called Couchette car. Firstly, here's a look at the Couchette cabin with 4 berths. Excellent when traveling in a group. You may book this as a solo passenger, but you might end up sharing with strangers. Then comes the unique selling point of this train: the mini cabins for solo or duo travelers on a budget. They are grouped together per bay of 4 berths, and you'll have access to a locker to store your stuff. I have the top right one, which is number 74. The steward will hand you a key card right after departure. With this, you can open the sliding door and the 2 lockers. The small locker is for your shoes, and the big locker is for your luggage. It fits my backpack perfectly fine, and it can hold up to a typical carry-on luggage. If you plan to take more luggage, you should consider booking one of the other accommodations. So now let's do a quote-unquote room tour of this mini cabin. When you close the sliding door, it will automatically be locked from the outside. The table is folded upright and has a mirror on the back. When the table is folded down, you can adjust it to be closer or further away from you. The table itself is also quite large and sturdy. On your right, you'll find 2 coat hooks. Each berth comes with bedding. This includes a small pillow, sheet and blanket. You'll have to make up the bed yourself. On the right is a rack with a magazine, safety leaflet and a paper waste bag. Against the wall is the power outlet, USB-A port and the button for the reading light. Here's the control panel for the mood light, and it's pretty cool to have one. And lastly, there's the complimentary bottle of water for you. The window blinds comes in 2 variants, one mesh partly blocking and the other one fully blocking the light. This little door here is to connect with the other berth, so if you travel as a duo, you could open the door and chat with each other. The quote-unquote nightstand is by the way wide enough to keep your backpack with you in case you travel with a carry-on luggage and a backpack. On the ceiling you'll find the air conditioning and reading light. So now let's have some fun with the mood lighting. It's pretty responsive, but the beep could have been left out, or at least be more quiet in my opinion. The bed is 188 centimeters long, with my length of 165 centimeters. That's more than enough to lay comfortable. But what about the side and the height? Well, I try my best to show you how much space there is. You can sit upright, no problem. And I also feel like I have enough space on the side as well. It's not a tight fit at all, and I'm quite satisfied with it. If you plan to work on your laptop, the table is big enough for it, and the power socket is conveniently situated behind you. Because there is no bin in your mini cabin, you'll be given these paper trash bags. The magazine of ÖBB is called Relaxed and features travel and train related articles in and around Europe. However, to no one's surprise, it's only in German. Luckily, there's free Wi-Fi, but since we are in Germany, keep your expectations low. We have just left Hannover Hauptbahnhof, and now let's have a look at the sanitary facilities. Our Couchette car features 2 lavatories and a washroom. It's segregated by gender, which is super rare on board trains. The men's lavatory looked good and everything was in working condition and clean. In this travel class there's no shower available, only in the sleeper cars, so keep that in mind when traveling. Here's a shot of the washroom, featuring only a sink. Warm water is available by adjusting the tap. It's around midnight by now, time to call it a day and sleep in my little pod. Making up the bed is pretty straightforward, but turning your body around not so. Anyways, let's settle in and catch some sleep. After a decent night's sleep of around 7 hours in total and just waking up 2 times, I would say this was a good night's rest. The scenery has changed drastically and we find ourselves on Austrian soil. Breakfast is complimentary and served an hour before arrival. It's a very simple meal featuring 2 bread rolls, butter and jam and a choice of your drink, in which I went for a black tea. I have to note that there should also be food on order for dinner the night before, but the steward told me that nothing was available, unfortunately. When collecting the breakfast tray, the steward also wanted to have all the bedding. We still had an hour to Vienna, so it was kinda strange to hand those in that early. Anyways, let's recap our trip with the new Nightjet train. ÖBB has in my opinion crafted a beautiful train with an amazing concept. The overall experience of the mini cabin was pretty decent, with just some minor issues here and there. Punctuality isn't great as delays are very common. On this ride we arrived 30 minutes late into Vienna, which isn't too bad. Concerning the staff, they could have been a bit more courteous and buff up their English level. I've taken several Nightjet trains by now, and it seems that you either have excellent staff or very grumpy ones. My steward was a grumpy man and he didn't leave an impression on me that he was enjoying his job. Price wise, I've paid 64 euros for this trip from Hamburg to Vienna, and that's absolute value for money, preferring this over a hotel night plus an early morning flight. Hopefully ÖBB can tweak its soft product a bit, and then I think the Nightjet New Generation will be an amazing product for travelers. And that was the New Generation Nightjet in mini cabin. Thank you so much for joining and coming along. Take care guys, and we'll see each other in the next video.